Hello, fellers. Thanks for tuning in today. I have a incredibly cheap knife that I got at the flea market recently, and I got it because, it's a cheap knife that tried. And what I mean by that is it has a couple little features that, are just like really trying to be a cut above the normal cheap knife. And I find that interesting. And I'll show you what I mean. It's got a hole through it, so you could put some kind of lanyard, maybe a keychain. Yeah. It's got this serrate things, which are way too close together to be actually useful for anything. I think it's for descaling fish or something like that, but it is a lockback. But the the most interesting part is probably the paint job. Of course, you got the machine stamp, ka-chunk, 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 and this was ka-chunked. But it's not a bad little paint job, ka-chunk. You got a moose and some wilderness. And this is supposed to look like, I guess, bone, maybe. It's not. I mean, obviously. If you knew how cheap this knife was, you would think, wow, I need to go to West Virginia and buy stuff at flea markets because it's so cheap. Well, the reason why they're so cheap is because it's West Virginia. It's really hard to make a buck on the side of the road. You gotta really have the right stuff. But I don't see any markings. I think there's a mark. No, is there a marking on this thing even? Now, this one's made in China. You can kind of tell. It's it actually doesn't have. I mean, it's not heavy, but it's got a little bit more weight to it. Like the metal is like real, So it's probably just a slight cut above, like I said, the normal cheap knives. And I wanted to show it to you. This is, I guess, some kind of a bleeder, or it's supposed to be. They put a little gouge in it. So here we just went from one very, very low battery that just died to another one because why be prepared when you can not be prepared? What was I talking about? I don't remember. Oh, this thing that looks like a bleeder is actually, I guess, to help open the knife, but it's so big right here, it's not like you'd have a hard time grabbing it anyway. And it's surprisingly stable for a cheap knife. As little as I paid for this thing, which was almost nothing, it's it's got a good spring back to it. I don't know. I'm happy with it. I might keep it around just so I can show people the best cheap crappy knife I've ever seen. But Cat, what are you doing? I swear, this creature. If there isn't a mess in a room, they take personal offense to that. I digress. Anyway, it's an interesting little knife. I have no idea what the brand is. Why have a brand on your stuff, I guess the brand is irrelevant. They make them for flea markets and, little knife shows and things like that. So, I mean, it's okay. I'll give it a thumb, not up, not down. I'm just giving it a thumb. That's it. No, but this would be the sort of knife, if somebody needs to borrow a knife, you'd give them this one, because it really doesn't matter if you ever see it again or not. This is the sort of knife that if somebody steals, you're like, okay. You'd use this to tear up, so you don't tear up your good knife kind of thing. It's pretty sharp, but, the metal is telling me that if you were to try to sharpen this, it probably wouldn't go over very well. And it's got a very strange, fake metal feel to it. It looks like metal. I don't know. It's not plastic. I don't know. It's interesting. there's more of a story behind cheap crap sometimes than there is the real stuff. You know what I mean? Is it just me? Anyway, before this battery dies, which it could at any moment, I don't know, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I just wanted to show you this cheap, crummy little knife. And I have done this. Yay. So, have a wonderful day. I'm out.